Hi, Genki Call here with your Soulforge offerings for the week of November 6, 2023. I haven't looked at anything yet except for the summoning stones, and there is one troop here that is possibly something you might want to go for. That is not it. Which one is it? Hold on. I'll get there. Oh, here it is. First mate Axe Lubber. He is empowered to transform blue gems into red. Very good for Guild Wars, so if you've been looking for this troop and have not been able to get him yet, it might be worth trying to spend some gems on it. That's entirely up to you and your goals in the game. Generally, I don't recommend spending your gems, but if there's something you really, really want, that's something that the only one that I would recommend this week. So as far as legendaries go, ooh, we've got some good ones in here. So Orion is not one of those good ones. This guy is going to do a range of damage. Hunter's Mark, the enemy gains magic, and he has a 75% chance to do true damage with skulls. Now that is the highest in the game except for the Lord of Slaughter. And that is cool, but he has no skull damage reduction, and, his spell is okay. The Hunter's Mark does help, but he could definitely use some tweaking to make him better. Borealis, however, Borealis is awesome. And it's because skull damage reduction by 65% and triple skull damage versus frozen enemies. If you run this with a Zul'Goth team, my favorite Zul'Goth team, then he's going to freeze them. Zul'Goth will freeze them, and then you just do triple skull damage with all of those skulls he creates. But he can also freeze all enemies himself. So, yeah, I really like this troop a lot for skull spamming because you've got that 65% skull damage reduction protection, and he's going to do all that damage himself with the skulls. So, would I spend 800 diamonds on it? Not unless you have a specific team you want to use this for. There are more useful ones like Tesla, and it is 800 diamonds. That is entirely personal preference, and that is why I go over these every week, just so that you can make an informed decision. Next up is Captain Macaw. Captain Macaw is fantastic for fighting anything that submerges, like an enemy that uses Tidecaller class, for instance, because he will insta-kill anything that is submerged, except for Dooms, Enraged Corridara, and Leona's Tower. You can't insta-kill any of those, but anything else, if they're submerged, they are gone. Also gives all rogues a 50% mana start. There is a formerly meta team using Mother of Darkness and Night Spider using this troop, and I'll link that in at the end, but Night Spider was either nerfed or buffed depending on your point of view. So you can check it out and see what you think. I'll link that in at the end, as I said. There should be another... There it is. King Heliodor. King Heliodor is okay. So he does true damage to the first enemy boosted by brown gems and allies. He knocks them to the back. He creates 3 elemental stars, which very often is going to hit and sometimes get you an extra turn. 5 life to all elemental allies when matching brown gems. He creates a brown gem at the start of the turn. He has skull damage reduction, and if you run multiple of him on a team, you're getting all of those brown gems created every single turn, which helps you just kind of loop and loop and loop. So in that respect, he's good. Using a single King Heliodor, he's okay. Would I use diamonds? Not me, but that's just me. So let's go over the mythics now. We have Pan, and I do like Pan. Damage to 3 random enemies, knocks them to the back. He's going to mess up the enemy team. He's impervious, and all wild folk allies gain 1 to life and magic when matching 4+ gems. You know who's a wild folk? Queen Bee is a wild folk. And so every time you get those 4+ matches with Queen Beatrix and you loop and you loop and you loop, her magic is going up every single time, as is his. So I do like running them together, but next up is Dao. He is Shabano Vespera's little stepbrother. Her useless little... I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. That's saying something bad about families. Forget I said that, because I don't I don't believe in that. A family is a family. So forget I said that. I was trying to be funny, but it wasn't funny. So please ignore the fact that I just said that. Anyway, he's like Shibanu Vespera, but bad. So he does the same thing Shibanu does in reverse. Um, but instead of creating gems, he destroys them. And you can possibly loop. With Shibanu, you've got like a 90% chance of looping if you're using a monochromatic team. With him, not so much. So the fact that he doesn't loop makes him lesser, in my opinion. And the Servant of Tao's, just not that great either. Next up, always there, always there. Kalika. Kalika's okay. Damage to 4 random enemies boosted by elemental stars. She has a 50% chance to create an elemental star at the start of the turn. I can't speak. Reduce damage from spells by 25%. She's just okay. She could use a little buff herself to make her a little better. Diamantina. I've already got my Diamantina. I can't believe I have enough Dragonite to craft another one already. That's crazy. Weird. How did that happen? I'm sorry, I have to stop down for a second here. It took so long to get the Dragonite to get her, and now I just have it without trying? That's so weird. Alright, Fenix. I like Fenix a lot. Fenix does true damage to all enemies, or summons, but you get to choose which one he does. So you click cast, you click cast, it'll automatically choose the one for true damage to all enemies. True damage to all enemies rocks. That's very good. Bless and enchant a random enemy every time you match 4+ gems. Start battle with 25% mana. It's all good. Fenix is very good. So, don't craft anything you're not going to use. That's all I can really... Well, no, I say that. But if you need something to get your power level up, say, in a Magic Kingdom, then it's worth spending 4,000 diamonds to do it. But I do recommend getting the really useful mythics before you start doing that. Speaking of spending diamonds, I do recommend crafting all of the weapons this week. Because you're going to need them. There's no telling when we're going to be back in Karakoth. It's a Magic Kingdom. And there aren't that many weapons for Karakoth. There aren't enough to get it up to level 28 at this point. We need 2 more weapons for Karakoth to get to power level 28. But let's go over what we've got here. So we've got the Doomed Cauldron. Is it good? No, not really. My opinion. This thing is going to give allies life and give all other allies some mana. And for each purple enemy, give 2 magic to all allies. I mean, it's not useless. It's okay. There are just better weapons out there, and it's expensive. But again, the thing is with Dooms is that you have to have the forging scrolls to get them maxed out to count towards your power level. So I would recommend this one last. Grasping Grimoire, though. Let's see. Damage to an enemy boosted by mystic allies, then create a mix of 6 yellow and purple gems for each mystic ally. Yellow and purple, that's Lananshi, who's not from Karakoth, but she is purple and yellow, and she's a mystic. That's Medea. Well, Medea uses the purple, but there are multiples that could be using the yellow and purple very nicely for mystics. Staff of the Otherworlds, this one is specifically for Karakoth. Damage to an enemy boosted by Karakoth allies. Create a mix of 6 purple and brown gems for each Karakoth ally. The Infernal Volg, I like this weapon. Damage to an enemy boosted by demon allies, then create a mix of 6 red and purple gems for each demon ally. This can be very, very good on the right team. And of course, I prefer my splody weapons, and that's right here. Old Magus's Staff. Explode purple gems. Grant a random status effect to all Karakoth allies and summon a Karakoth troop. The most important thing is the colors that it uses and the color that it explodes. The other stuff is just gravy, in my opinion. So, yeah, if I were to choose one of the ones we've gone over, I would choose the Old Magus's Staff, but that is just me. And yep, that is it for the Soulforge for this week. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Check out the videos popping up on the screen now if you're interested. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you may be, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.